Well, hey there. Good morning, Lego fans. Happy Monday to you. Love Mondays because you know what that means? It is time to go over all the glorious news and latest rumors that we've gotten for Lego and everything that is coming up in the next couple months. So I'm excited. I hope you are too. I do always want to start off by just saying thank you, though. If you are listening to me on your favorite podcast platform, or maybe you check me out on the YouTube page, I just really appreciate it. I just love the comments. I love the support. If you're enjoying it, I would love for you to hit that like button, maybe even the subscribe button if you like the content. But hey, with that, let's get into it. And, it's April. So to me, it makes sense, since it's April, what we should do is talk about May, right? Because I think we've talked a lot about April sets lately, and let's be real, what's right around the corner is May, and May the 4th, right? And May the 4th be with you, because if you are a Star Wars fan, here we are, y'all. It's Star Wars time. One of my favorite times of year. And it is one of my favorite times of year, not only because of Star Wars, just because of Lego and what they do, and centered around everything that's Lego and Star Wars. So here we go. Let's get into it. In case you needed an appetizer, this was supposed to be a May release set, but I have heard rumors that it's going to be released April 18th. So I'm going to actually preempt you with this first one, and that is set 40796. That is a Lego Star Wars BrickHeadz. So Revenge of the Sith is turning 20, right? Congratulations, Revenge of the Sith, you did it. Right? I think, yes, 2025, they are turning 20. And so to celebrate that, Lego is releasing a 6-pack of BrickHeadz, which I think is an interesting choice for that. With these BrickHeadz, we are supposed to be getting Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme, Yoda, a Mace Windu, and an Emperor Palpatine. Well, before he becomes Emperor Palpatine, so I guess we could say Senator Palpatine. But I think it's an interesting choice because we are talking Revenge of the Sith. So we do have a child Anakin from Phantom. We do have a couple versions of Obi-Wan, so I'm not super excited about that. We have a really cool Padme already, right? That classic red dress Padme from Phantom. Probably one of the best Padme versions there are. But we're going to be getting a Revenge of the Sith version of Padme, which is going to be kind of unique because I'm like, what, is she going to be pregnant? I'm not sure how it's going to look. But Yoda, we have a Yoda. Hasn't changed much in 900 years, so not super excited about that. But can I tell you, Mace Windu and Palpatine, those are going to be good additions to the Lego BrickHeadz lineup. So that is very exciting. $50 again. If rumors are to be believed, April 18th is when you can expect that. And that's your little appetizer leading up to May, because May 1st, things are really going to get going. If you are a Lego insider, you're going to get your early access. And I highly recommend, if you're not a Lego insider and you're a Star Wars fan, do it. Join it. It's free. You get perks. Like, there's no reason, if you like Lego, not to be a member of Lego Insiders. It's just, eventually, the freeness pay for itself. I don't know how to phrase that in a way that makes sense. It's just, you just need to do it. Early access is important because here's the deal. We've got 6 sets coming out in May that are Star Wars specific sets. And let me go over these. And I'm just going to start at set number and work my way up. Starting with 75399. This is the Andor U-Wing. It is a really cool set. I think people are very hyped about this one. It's $80. I don't have piece counts on these. I didn't write them down, but I can tell you most of these are running between the 600 and 900 piece count range. But the Andor U-Wing is a pretty neat looking set. If you're watching on the YouTube page, I will post pictures of what I have of these sets, so you can see that as well. We've got 2 helmets coming out. The first being 75406. That is Kylo Ren's. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get to that. But we've got Kylo Ren's MIDI shuttle. That's $70. Whatever. But the helmets, is 75,408 Jango Fett's helmet, and that is going to be $80. We have a Mandalorian, we have Boba Fett, so now we have the trifecta. We have Jango Fett, and the color scheme is definitely going to be different, so you will be able to tell the difference between Jango and Boba. And it makes a lot of sense to me because not only are we getting Jango Fett's helmet, we're getting what everybody is really actually excited about, and that's set 75,409 Jango Fett's Slave One, or Jango Fett's Starship, however you want to say it. But if you are watching on YouTube, you can see next to me, I have Boba Fett's Slave One from way back, I want to say 2016. And this set, to date, most people will tell you it's probably a top 5, maybe even a top 3er as far as UCS Star Wars sets go. The Boba Fett that I have in front of me that goes to Slave One, that minifig goes for like $100 by itself. So from an investor standpoint, it was a really good set. From a builder standpoint, it was a fantastic set. I mean, when you look at it, the way the sand greens work against the dark red and the gray, and then you have the dark green on front, it's a really good looking set, and it is the perfect display set, you know. To me, that's part of the problem with, like, I love an X-Wing. X-Wings look great, but they're not super awesome to display up high because you just can't see it really well. Versus Slave One, it's got that upright look to it, right? So you can see that you get the whole ship on display, and it looks so good. And what gets me really excited about the upcoming Jango Fett's version, okay? Basically, it's going to be that different color scheme. Instead of the greens and the reds, we're going to have those blues that go with Jango Fett. And what gets me more excited is I'm seeing a lot more things out there that telling me that it's going to be a $240 set. And that's important because UCS sets for the past, 4 or 5 years have been going for $240. When Jango Fett's, the rumors first came out about this upcoming set, the rumors were it was going to be going for more like $280 or $300, but with that same, like, right around 2,500 piece count. So to get it staying at the $240 price range, I think is a great move by Lego, and I think it's some excellent pricing PR that they need right now, given some of the debacles that they've had lately. So, but again, this set, I guarantee you, is going to fly off the shelf. I think people are really excited about this. I know there's a lot of people out there that definitely wanted their hands on that original Boba Fett Slave One. And so to get Jango Fett's version, I think is really cool. If you look hard on the internet, you'll be able to definitely see some leaked images. Now, I've got a couple images that I'm showing here. Some unofficial, one sort of leaked. Hopefully it doesn't get me shut down, but these are the images that I can give you that can give you a general idea of what it's going to look like. Now, I'm not going to say that these are any official images, but this will at least give you a good idea of what you're going to be getting come May. In addition to that, what I was saying before with back to the helmets, we do have 2 other sets that are coming out, and one is 75,415. That is Kylo Ren's helmet. So we're getting his shuttle and we're getting the helmet, which I'm actually surprisingly more excited about his helmet than I am about the mini shuttle. I do like the helmets. I think they look great, and I think Kylo Ren's helmet looks, to me, pretty iconic. I love it. It's probably the strongest part about his character. It's just how cool it looks, no matter how people feel about Kylo Ren. But that's $80 too, which seems to be the going rate for helmets nowadays, which is still arguably about $10 higher than, in my opinion, where they need to be. But say what you will. And then if that wasn't all, topping it out, if you need yourself another droid, we're getting another buildable droid, and that is 75,416. A buildable chopper. Hey, do we got any Star Wars Rebels fans out there? If so, and you're watching on the YouTube page, leave me a comment. No matter where you're watching, if you can leave a comment, leave it. I love Star Wars Rebels. I think it's one of the most underrated shows, and especially as it moved on later in the seasons. Season 5 with Thrawn is just so good. And part of what it makes it such a good series to me was the attitude of Chopper. R2-D2 is great, but man, Chopper is this, it's like, we're going to make R2-D2, but he's going to be the droid with attitude. Like, he's going to be a smart aleck, he's going to be sarcastic, and it's all going to be wrapped up in a droid. So we're going to get a buildable Chopper for $100. And I will tell you, I'm excited about that because it should go very well. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, behind me, I've got the buildable R2-D2 in place of where Slave 1 usually goes, and that can give you kind of an idea of a little bit smaller than that, but a buildable chopper should be about 8 to 9 inches tall. Very similar, if I had to guess, to the 2024 R2-D2 that we got. So 6 great sets, and really a 7th set when you count in that BrickHeadz set. So if you're a Star Wars fan, gosh, y'all, it's shaping up to be a good May the 4th. I haven't actually, I haven't been this excited about a May 4th in quite some time. So, and we'll see. In case what I've said so far hasn't really done it for you, let me add a little cherry on top of that sundae. We've got gift with purchases too. And this has been kind of interesting because the rumors kind of have been going back and forth. First, we were getting a rumor. It's set 4765. And the first rumors were that it was going to be a Republic escape pod. And it was going to have a little young Boba Fett and some clone cadets in it. 190 pieces. And if you spent $160, that was the threshold, you could get that set. Now what we're hearing, though, is that piece, that set number is more likely belonging to a Commodian KE-8 Enforcer ship, which is also, I think, a pretty good gift with purchase. Still going to probably be in that $160 price threshold range, which is not a problem. You're talking 2 helmets or 1 Jango Fett ship, right? Again, 190 pieces, should come with 3 minifigs, and it should be clone minifigs. And we're talking the original clone minifigs, like the red outfit minifigs that they wore back when they were first being trained, like the young Boba Fett versions of those. So I'm not quite sure what we'll get. It should be interesting. If it was a Boba Fett, anybody would take that any day of the week, but I don't think it's going to be a Boba Fett in his full Mandalorian outfit, so it's not going to be as valuable as the others are. But, in case you needed a reason more to go out and buy a good Star Wars set, you got a gift with purchase too. But that will most likely be gone by May 6, 7, 8, because a lot of these deals, you've got early access, and then May the 4th is your big date. So get on that. But hey, Steve, what if I miss out on all those? Well, good news, friends. We've also had a rumor going around about set 40806. Y'all, we're going to get a holiday TIE fighter this year, which is just funny to me. So back in 2019, we got a holiday X-Wing as an employee gift. It was done in basically Christmas colors, right? It's an X-Wing, but it's like red and white. I don't know if there were any greens on it, but it's Christmassy. So come October this year, we're supposed to be getting a Christmas TIE fighter, which should be in the same style of color scheme. So instead of getting it in your typical stone gray or your dark bluish grays, we're going to be getting in the red and white and very Christmassy. So that should be interesting too, right? So anyway, there you go. That's May. It's coming before you know it. And that's the big news. So be ready for it. Set your alarms. Make sure you're there. But let's say let's say Star Wars is not your thing and you're like, this episode's terrible because I'm not a Star Wars fan and I'm not excited about May. Well, hey, guess what? I've got some rumors for you too. And these rumors are all over the place. So hang in there with me. Let's go to it. First, Lord of the Rings. Don't forget, we should be getting a Durin's Bane Booknook set. I have talked about this before. Durin's Bane is the Balrog, right? The Balrog that Gandalf fights. And there is going to be a really cool, Booknook set that they're going to be releasing later in 2025. Well, in addition to that, if you love Booknooks, well, good news. Set 10351, we're also supposed to be getting a Sherlock Holmes Booknook. It's coming out in June for $120. We haven't gotten official images of this, but if you want to see what a Sherlock Holmes Booknook looks like, there is actually a LEGO Ideas Booknook of Sherlock Holmes that did not get approved. So that to me is a little shady, honestly, and that's kind of one of the pitfalls of the LEGO Ideas program. When you submit an idea, that intellectual property, that idea basically becomes Legos. So if they don't like your idea, they can say nope, and then suddenly a couple months later, they can be like, hey, by the way, we're going to do this ourselves. So to me, I always think that's a little weird. It's a little shady, but, we're going to be getting a Sherlock Holmes Booknook. There you go. We are also beginning a arcade machine, which one assumes it's going to be part of the Icons line. It's set 40805. This arcade machine is only going to be 468 pieces. It's going to be $60 and releasing in August. And when I say arcade machine, what I want you to think of is like Miss Pac-Man, right? Not like a pinball, but a true arcade machine. Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, Miss Pac-Man, whatever era you are, that's going to be the arcade machine that we're going to get. Going to be pretty small, though, at under 500 pieces. So I don't know quite how good this is going to look, but there you go. There's that rumor as well. And if that wasn't all, we've got Legend of Zelda rumors. Were you not a fan of the Deku tree? Or did you love the Deku tree, but just like with most LEGO sets lately, hated just how much money it was? I personally love Legend of Zelda, right? Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, all of those games are some of my favorites. And I did like the way the Deku tree set looked. In fact, I loved it. I thought it was a good-looking set. My issue is that they made this huge direct-to-consumer set a 2-for-1 set, which sounds cool in theory. You're getting 2 sets for the price of 1. But the problem with that is that you're getting all these extra pieces. And, if you've ever built, like, say, the DeLorean, the Icons vehicle DeLorean, or any of the Icons vehicles as of late, you get all these extra pieces to build it in different ways, which is cool. But then when you're done, if you're going to go display it, now you have this pile of extra pieces that if you want to redo it, you've got to keep track of. So you can either part it out and only ever have that one style of set, or you've got to keep track of it, which I kind of find personally annoying. I don't love that. I love picking one thing to build, using all of the pieces and having that be the display. So we will see what this latest rumor will bring with Legend of Zelda. I don't know. It's probably going to be expensive again, which is silly to me, but coming in 2026. So, hey, what do you think it's going to be? Like, I have my guesses. We got a great Deku tree. The easy answer to me is Hyrule Castle, right? I mean, that is literally the most iconic Legend of Zelda location that we could get. So what else could it be besides Hyrule Castle? I would love a 3,000 piece Hyrule Castle for $300. Like, I think that would be just absolutely perfect. Do it in the correct color scheme. I think that would fly off the shelves, and I think it would look really good. You include a Ganon minifig, a Link minifig, a Zelda minifig, maybe a couple other things like the old man who gives you the sword, and call it a day. That would be iconic. Or, maybe they'll go the other ways. I mean, I was trying to think of what other locations it could possibly be. And I'm like, could we have a fairy fountains? Like, you go into the mountain and there's the whole fairy fountain there that gives you back your health. It could be something like that. Or speaking of mountains, could it be Death Mountain? That could be an interesting concept to make a huge Death Mountain, like a more of a play set style. Or maybe a Temple of Time. Like if you actually had a full temple that you could build, and inside it you've got your ocarinas and your items like that. That could be kind of interesting. Or maybe they just make it a water temple, right? Like, I just think that would be really funny. Make a water temple and like make it impossible to build and just get people really frustrated over it, just so they could relive their youth about the most impossible level in history, the water temple. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Ocarina of Time, who didn't spend hours doing that. But anyway, I digress. Legend of Zelda, love it or hate it, we're getting another one in 2026. So, and if that wasn't all, we've got 3 more things. 1, Nike sets. Do you like Nike? I mean, we got an Adidas shoe a couple of years back. I loved it. I think it's a great set. The packaging was really clever. It came in a shoebox. You got got a little minifig with it. It just looked really good. Now, we were supposed to be getting the, I believe it's the Air Max trainers, if I had to guess. But we're going to get 4 sets. So we're going to be getting a couple different Nike shoes. And from what I also understand is we should be getting the Nike swoosh. That iconic Nike logo. 464 pieces coming out in September. It's only going to be $40. So if you like Nike and you want to display that Nike swoosh, you can now do it in Lego. Moving on. 2 things left. 1 is BrickHeadz. Y'all, BrickHeadz, we are getting so many BrickHeadz in 2025. Let me just go down the list for you real quick. 40801, Stranger Things, it's coming back, and it's coming back in BrickHeadz. We've got 11 and a Demogorgon. We got that a while back, and then we also got the Upside Down. But besides Barb, which is impossible to get because it was a San Diego Comic-Con minifig, we haven't gotten any other Stranger Things sets in forever. And with Stranger Things having its final season come out here at the end of the year, we are getting a new set of BrickHeadz, and it looks like it's going to be a 4-pack of Lucas, Will, Mike, and Dustin. 542 pieces, going to be releasing in October. It'll probably be $40 to $50. Should be interesting to see how it looks, because when I think of those characters, I think of, season 1 characters, like they're kids, because they're pretty much adults now, but should be a really nice addition to 11 in the Demogorgon. We are also getting a Harry Potter BrickHeadz, 671 pieces, a Goblet of Fire, should be like a 4-pack or a 5-pack, which should be interesting. Like, are we going to get a Cedric Diggory? Not quite confirmed on that, but that should come out September 1st. If that wasn't all, if you do like your Harry Potter BrickHeadz, good news, 40802, we should be getting a 2-pack of Luna and a Thestral, which I'm excited for because I can't think, we basically have the Basilisk, I can't remember the Basilisk's name, Nagini. We have Nagini and we have Buckbeat as the only animal BrickHeadz for Harry Potter. So to get a Thestral, I think is a really cool addition. And I like that they are pairing Luna with this. So that should be 292 pieces. Again, that $20 price point for the BrickHeadz 2-pack. And then last 2 for BrickHeadz, we have a Fortnite BrickHeadz. Remember, we got an exclusive Fortnite BrickHead that was released in 2024. Well, now we're getting a 2-pack. And it's going to be Raven and Drift. I have no idea who they are. People that are younger and cooler than me, feel free to let me know who Raven and Drift are. But it's another $20 2-pack, 280 pieces. That is coming out in October. And then finally, if that's not all, This one is probably going to fly off the shelves. Very popular. 40794, Glinda and Elphaba from Wicked, which we knew those were coming, but those are also 325 pieces coming out September. Should be a $20 2-pack. And that one I'm really excited for. I think it just makes sense, especially with part 2 of Wicked coming to theaters here in November. So I am actually surprised they're not releasing it a little bit closer to that November movie release date, but keep the fervor going, right? Should be good. All right, and then I want to end with this rumor. I'm going to leave you with this one, and that is Lego architecture. Here in the second half of 2025, we are getting an astounding, I'm sure it will be, Lego Neuschwanstein Castle, and I am beyond excited for it. Should look fantastic. It is going to be a large set, but that's not what I'm going to talk to you about. The rumor is in 2026, if you like Lego architecture, we are getting 4 new sets. That's crazy because architecture for like the last 5 years has been releasing 1 to 2 sets max per year. So to get 4 sets in 1 year is kind of crazy. And so I don't know if they're going to be smaller sets. We'll see. I have my guesses. Feel free to let me know what you think your guesses are, but I was thinking, what architecture do we still need? Because I don't want a lot of repeats, right? Like Trevi Fountain, for example, that came out this year. We have a Trevi Fountain. This upgraded one is very nice, magnificent, but it's still a rehash. But I was thinking, since we've already got Notre Dame, that kind of opens the gate a little bit for really iconic religious buildings, right? Like, could we get the, what's that? The Sagrada Familia, the big, huge church in Barcelona with all the huge spires. I think that could be a really cool Lego architecture set. I was also thinking maybe the Parthenon. We had gotten a very small Parthenon building in the, there was a bonus for insiders that you could use points and get a 4-pack that had the Parthenon, Petra, Great Wall of China, and I want to say the Taj Mahal. But to get a full-size Parthenon, I think could be really interesting. Definitely iconic, one of the most iconic buildings in history, I think, arguably. I was also thinking maybe Versailles. That could be a really cool one. I figure since, the building itself, Versailles, I think it's kind of a boring building, honestly. But if we can get the Louvre, or we can get, like, say, Buckingham Palace or Trafalgar Square, I would imagine we could get a Versailles Palace as well. And I was thinking maybe finally, if we were going to do any rehashes of sets that have already come out and revamp them, remodel them, I was thinking we are absolutely primed for an updated Marina Bay Sands. So if you're a Lego architecture fan, you'll know that one of the white whales for architecture fans has been the Marina Bay Sands Resort. It was a regional exclusive set to that Southeast Asia region. And so if you were like me here in North America, you can only get your hands on it in the secondary market. And if you want it new in box, we're talking $500+ for a $70 set. So I really think an updated Marina Bay Sands, that could be really cool. And something that, if you're doing 4 sets in the year, wouldn't be a huge price piece count. So you could have it to be a reasonable price. So those are my guesses, but you let me know what you think, right? So there you go. Long episode because, gosh, y'all, we have a lot of rumors. I mean, we're talking architecture, BrickHeadz, Nike, Zelda, arcades, Sherlock Holmes, and then just a slew of Star Wars sets that are getting released right around the corner. It's a lot going on, for sure. So let me know what you are most excited about. I can't tell you how excited I am again for the Star Wars May the 4th releases. Starship should be absolutely incredible. The question is it going to be as good as Boba Fett's? I don't know. Boba Fett's ship is pretty incredible. But anyway, until the official images get released, and until Wednesday, where I'm going to come back and talk your ear off about a new set, a set review. It's actually not a new set. We're going to be reviewing a Lego Ideas set on Wednesday, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But until I come and talk to you about that particular set on Wednesday, I just want to say I appreciate you, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week. I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.